It's Hump Day and we're back, Johnny. The
Wow.
Maui Hot List Houlihan. Doing this 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Thanks for tuning in. We
Dude.
hope you find value here. This is our hope, just to create some content that is all about Maui real estate, that is niche down, that is specific, that is fun, loose, entertaining. It's at your pace, and always it is for you. So if you have questions, comments, something specific you want us to cover, just drop it right down below in the comments, and we'll put out a video probably that week that addresses your concerns. So what's up, Johnny?
Is Easter coming up, Danny? Is Easter
That's what I
this
hear.
weekend?
The
Or is it next
Masters.
weekend?
No, it's the weekend
Okay.
after. The Masters, Easter, it's all on the same weekend. It's pretty exciting. I left golf, if you guys didn't know. That used to be my career prior to getting into real estate. So I still dabble in that from time to time.
So it's in April. It's the first weekend in April then. Is
First
that correct?
weekend in April. Yep.
Roger that. Okay,
April
good.
5th.
So, man, can't believe April's already knocking on the door.
It's here. I mean, quarter one, in and out. It's been pretty wild on Maui.
Dude. This storm was so ill-timed, man. I mean, we were finally starting to see some life in the tourist market, and then the storm hit, and the messaging seems to be the same after we get any kind of big stuff. It's like, just stay away, everybody. That seems to be the general vibes.
We can't handle it. Stay away. Don't come.
My wife's concierge, so I hear it all the time. She's right there at the Hyatt, so she's got her finger on the pulse. And I mean, so people canceled for obvious reasons while the rain is happening, but now people are so savvy to Maui, they're like, we can't snorkel. It's brown water. So now I'm going to cancel there. So it's drifting. And, I'm not going to say that spring break is anywhere near the high season that we have, around Christmas time, but it's definitely a season. And man, it just wiped out every single activity that's out there just about. So, man,
And what do you do on Maui if there's no activities? You might have to just sit and chill. That would be terrible, huh?
Right. I'm telling you, just look, I mean, the views are still amazing to watch lightning storms and thunderstorms over the ocean, man. It's still powerful to watch, right?
But that's not what they come to Maui for.
That's right. That's right. So
kind of funny, Johnny. I was talking to one of our clients today who, he was kind of deciding between Maui and Kauai, and they ended up going Kauai. And I always got to ask, what made you go that way more than this way? Because, I mean, we always say that Kauai is where we go, where Maui people go to have a vacation when Maui's too busy. So I kind of threw that out there as a joke. And he's like, yeah, man, that's exactly why we chose Kauai. He's like, my wife just feels peace there. We were kind of surprised Maui was a little bit busy, and that just felt more relaxed. I call Kauai a garden on an island. It is called the Garden Isle. I mean, it's kind of, if there's any sort of reminiscent of Eden from biblical times, I think it would be Kauai. And,
agreed.
I just want to throw out there, we want to throw out there that there's a lot of people trying to decide between different things. I also talked to some of our clients who decided to move to Portugal, and now they're realtors in Portugal. So we might do a special show with them at some point, just kind of talking about that process and things. So safe to say, Maui is for some people. It's not for everyone in terms of a long-term, maybe get involved with buying something. Some people will decide somewhere else, and there's good reasons for it. So
Agreed.
That was some interesting conversations. But also want to bring up, Johnny, we dropped a cool show yesterday, really breaking down a little masterclass, how to spot real opportunity. There's a lot of listings. We cover a lot of the listings here, even on the back part of the show, the hot list, but really there's real opportunity in the market, and we show how you find that, how to break it down, how to look for it, and how to get involved if you want our help. So go and check it out if you haven't. Just a disclaimer, we'll throw it on the back of this video. You can tag into it. But anything else you want to say there, Johnny?
Yeah, but it was fun to make it, and it causes me to reflect on people's behavior every time we do something like that, because it is pretty amazing how, I mean, there's just so much inventory in the market, number one, but the reason for that is pricing. I mean, people just do not want to give up the equity that they gained during COVID. But unfortunately, this Minatoya List Bill 9 is a law on the books. And so that is something that you have to consider. So, yeah.
Isn't it the biggest dichotomy in real estate is like all these sellers don't want to give up equity, and all the buyers don't want to spend more than they think they should for
We're at a standoff.
Is this standoff. It's a good old fashioned duel. Like, you're going to take a lower price. No, I'm not taking a lower price. I'm not negotiating. And we were there, right? Even we mentioned it, like we were 10K away on a deal, and it was a bit of a standoff. Buyers didn't want to go higher, sellers didn't want to go lower, and that's where we stood.
And you know, we've run into those sellers where, I mean, they're just not willing to budge once they've gotten to a certain price. And so then the buyer makes that choice. You know, I was amazed at some of the negotiations that we've done recently where I really felt we could have moved the needle a little bit more. We had the cash, but, you know, you run across a seller. And that's what's interesting about, you know, the vast majority of owners here on Maui that do not live here on Maui is they don't consider themselves to be wealthy, but they're wealthy. I mean, these things feel uncomfortable to them. High interest rate, you know, high fees, potential losing the ability to do some vacation rentals. But the thing is that the vacation rentals were nice, but some of them don't need it. So that's what's going to be interesting once Bill 9 kicks in is, you know, is it going to lead to a lot of these sales that the county is really betting on? Is it going to lead to long-term rentals, or will they just become second homes that just sit here? So time will tell.
Time will tell. We will wait and see. I mean, it does, in the conversations we're having, it does still seem like people are very interested in having rental income quite
Hmm.
frequently. I'd say more often than not, people want rental income and not necessarily even want to make money off of it per se, like want an ROI. They just want to kind of pay for some of it, right? Justify some of the costs or cover some of the costs. Like, hey, at least we can cover the HOA fees, maybe the taxes. That would be sweet. I think it just makes everything a little bit easier because as you get closer to retirement, and shout out mom, we had this conversation. Is they're trying to find a house back in the Midwest. Is like we didn't realize that at some point your growing income would become a fixed income, and then things get a little bit tighter. Things get a little bit more scary. Like you don't have that shovel, so to speak, anymore of just digging yourself out of costs because you can go work a little harder. So I think that's
Hmm.
something that people consider, they think about, and it is plays into that decision of do I want rentability or maybe that's not so important because I want peace and quiet and privacy.
What's going to be interesting for me, Danny, especially these oceanfront complexes that are on Bill 9, is the prices are getting to the point where they do make sense as second homes for some people again. And for some people, the idea of letting other people use their house, if you would, is foreign to them. They don't like that idea, right? I buy things for myself, I share them with my family, they're for us. And so I do feel that we will revisit that market segment at a higher level than we have in the past. Already starting to see the behavior in some of the conversations we're having and the business that we're doing. And I think that that is the best way to kind of position the head for the market. If you're pursuing something, Bill 9 was on Exhibit 2, is to pursue it with the worst case scenario in the background of your mind. And if it still makes sense for you and you can still make the numbers work, go for it. It's the only time you should get involved in real estate is when you can comfortably.
That's great advice. Wise wisdom. It's ongoing. And that's what you'll hear from us over and over again. Whether you choose to get involved or not, is if it makes sense for you, go for it. And if it doesn't, then it
Rent.
doesn't. And
Come over and
sometimes
do what you've been doing.
and sometimes it doesn't make sense. And we've talked about that at length on the show is even you do get involved and you decide to write an offer and you get an offer accepted, there's still going to be a point in time where you may walk away from a deal because you realize, hey, this is not for me. I'm not comfortable with it. I don't want to do a remodel. I don't like that it might lose rentability. Things change. There's a lot changing right now with the rules and regulations.
It's so true. And, you know, I think we'll do a segment, a show, if you would, on like how I attack contingencies for a buyer and how I attack the contingencies in a contract when I'm
Ooh,
representing a seller
that'd be
because they are
fire.
vastly different, man. So, yeah, I think that we'll do that
So
because,
different. Yeah, they are
yeah,
completely different.
yep,
Opposites, in fact. That would be a good show, and I think they'd
yeah,
find some value in that. So, Johnny, it's Wednesday. It's Hump Day. There's some action in the market. There's some deals dropping. There's also some surprises. So why don't we hit them with the hot list?
we go.
Here we go. So starting off
Wow.
at Kamole Sands. I hit you with this in an email because the agent just blasted this out. And I
Yep.
said, the worst building in the worst location in the building at 549, but what price does it become attractive to people? So Cam
Man.
Sands, the Grand Dame of Kihei, I mean, you have 10 buildings, You have 7 in the middle, horseshoe, U
You
shape,
can
and
see
you have
it
3
right
on the
there.
outside.
Yep.
These 2 on the outside, 8 and 9. You have 4 over here. There is a road over there. This is ground floor. I mean, kinda dated remodel, ground floor right onto the road. Here you have out here, you can't see the road at the top of the picture, but man, what do you think is the price that makes someone jump at this? They started at
Man.
595, they're down to 549.
I mean, so this could drift potentially into 499. I mean, for me, that's the potential offer I'm writing if I have cash and somebody says, "John, I just really want it." And that's what the money that I have and that's what I can do. That's probably where I'm coming in there is 499. Now, the thing I'm going to remind my buyer is that while we will always pick up the 4 building at a discount, we will also sell it at a discount compared to the rest of the complex as part of the exit strategy. This is where the deal is because of the location within the complex. You get the complex, you get the amenities, you get the location of the complex, but maybe a little, people don't want to be by the road. It's the 69 square foot lanai, which is something you deal with at Kamole Sands because they stagger big lanai, small lanai. So, my opinion, probably somewhere in there. Now, when they came out at 595, it probably caught my attention last May when I first saw it, right? Because I've watched these drift from 900 to 8 to 7 to 6s. So, and that's the thing about deals, guys, is that I live in the moment in real estate. So, what I'm telling you is what's happening currently, right? I can give you ideas as where the market's heading, but I can't tell you the future. So, that's that. What do you think?
That's what I was thinking as well. Somewhere in the
Mhm.
4s, and, the reality of these is at some point, someone bites on it, and they go for it because it's such an attractive price.
Yep. So there's an impasse, right? Either the seller says, at that price, I'll just hold on to it, or they say, okay, I'll take the deal. I need the cash.
That's it. Moving along. Hotel zoned in your neck of the woods, Johnny. Studio 489 came down
Yep.
36,000 after 295 days. Have a sneak peek of a view. It's got
Mhm.
that old tile, white out in the bath. What do you think about this one?
I mean, they threw in the important things. They updated the shower. You've got some ductless in there. I mean, it's all white, so that looks better in a small square footage. I live on the same street, so people haven't come up Hui F Road right across the street from Napili Point, Napili Shores. You would think that you were coming into the hood because our road is destroyed. There are not even potholes. I mean, they are pot sections, right?
Craters.
Reason for that is when the developer developed Hui F Road, they did not put in an AOAO to take care of, or an HOA to take care of the actual street. So it's not a county street. It's not a state street. Nobody wants to take care of it. Occasionally, I have a neighbor that'll go out and put some concrete in the big potholes. Why do I bring this up? Because I watch the people that are staying here walk down to Napili Bay, and I sometimes wonder, is she mad at him for booking Napili Ridge?
Bro, I gotta say, when I was visiting you
Yeah.
the a couple weeks ago, I was walking up
Yep.
the road and people started chit chatting with me. I'm like, okay, you're not from around here because you're chit chatting. But
Right.
second, they're like, what is there to see up this road? And I was like, guys, there's literally nothing up here. Probably the worst road on the island. That's the best thing that you're gonna see. It is a residential neighborhood. There's not much to see, and be careful, you might get run over because people are going in and out of here frequently.
Dude, I mean, it gets scary for me to pop out of my little cul-de-sac because people hug the opposite side because of the potholes and they don't care that I'm turning out there. I mean, so many times I'm just like, anyway, that's part of the
I think you're
thrill.
still a bit of aspirational. It's
I
interesting.
do too.
We
I
mentioned
do
on
too.
Monday there was a new listing at Kahana Manor, which is a 1-1, also hotel zoned in Kahana. I mean,
There
for
it is.
10,000 more dollars, you get a one bedroom, bigger square footage, easier access, more vacation like. People can stroll the restaurants. I mean, when you compare the two, it doesn't seem to show you much.
Napili Napili Ridge is very much Kahana Manor to me in terms of like I had so many friends that lived here, even up to recently. So for me, they've always been long-term rentals, same thing Kahana Manor. But in the world of Maui County zoning, this one is in the Pili Bay Civic Improvement District. So therefore it is considered hotel zone. Same thing Kahana Manor, just because it's across the street from those others, still hotel zoned. Make it make sense.
Totally makes sense, doesn't it, Johnny?
Here we are,
Coming
Kamani at
down, Johnny. Look at
Kealani. Classic pricing.
$9.99.
Now, I
Oof.
love the waterfall. Oh, okay.
I mean, it's kind of updated. You have some dazzling features, and then you have this funky mixed flooring that we often see in Maui. And you're like, wait a minute, why'd you go all in on part of it and then leave the crappy flooring?
It speaks of
white
DIY.
on white. White on white on white. I mean, $9.99. They're coming out super aspirational. I think we had the highest sale at $9.60 2 years ago.
Right.
I mean, a lot's changed in the market since then. Come out at $9.99. 6 months later, still no action, but nice neighborhood.
This is why that strategy, just for me, just feels so painful. But people just kind of accept it that this is how it is. I feel like the consumer, the seller, kind of expects this to go this way. I'm going to list high, I'm going to do some reduction.
Shrug our shoulders after a while, like,
You're going to take, yeah. You know, I think that some sellers kind of panic when you sell it so quickly. Like they feel like you've underdone it. And it's like, well, no, we hit the number, dude. That's why
the first
somebody
thought. Did we list
something.
too low?
Always. Like
fear of loss. Fear of loss. Waikapu Garden, $9.99, Johnny. Sub $1 million.
Gardens. That is crazy, man. I mean, because this is newish neighborhood, right? This is one of those neighborhoods in Maui that looks very similar with similar floor plans and those sorts of things. Yeah, man. Tiny
very classic home, no updates.
No.
Showing some wear and tear in the yard. I mean,
that looks like a great rental to me. That's
what it is. Maybe $4,500
first-time home buyer. But man, come in with a little FHA loan these days, 5.65%, somewhere in there, 3.5% down. This is FHA material right here, in my opinion. Here we go.
Another hotel zone.
Starting to stack them.
12 days on market. Yeah, I know of a unit similar location to this that's under contract in the mid fives. So if this is an opportunity or not.
Ali'ikai, you only get the view along that road though, huh?
Yeah, down the road, a little bit of a view.
Slight.
Yeah, some updates, and it is hotel zone. So Royal Kahana, Johnny.
Look at that little mural in the back there, man, for a little studio guy.
God. Cute little studio, and that's probably why they're coming out with, I would say, kind of an aspirational price at $525 for a studio.
I'm with you there. I was reflecting at Pohailani Studios, which are also just like, you know, it just goes Hololani to the north, and then those all bring like in the sixes, which is so interesting. But maybe it's just because they're so much closer to the ocean. I don't know.
It is so interesting, right? So you can't really compare. I mean, you have Pohailani there, but then you have one bedrooms here that have been listed for a long time, and you're not getting any action in the fives for a one bedroom.
Yeah. This is kind of a remodel pricing strategy, in my opinion. And while I understand it, it definitely feels like these days people don't want to pay extra for the remodel.
So much.
Cute,
they want the price of the other ones.
Whoa.
The remodel.
Look at that, Danny. Right out the gate. Is this a relist? Did we shake off some days on market? I mean, not horribly updated either. Oh, there it is.
A couple of years ago.
Couldn't get
look at these. They're going down, down, down because that surrender date.
Surrender date's
closer and closer and closer. 99,000. I mean, decently looking unit.
So do the math for yourself. 11-year time frame, right? That's how long you'd get to enjoy it. And does that fit your retirement and budget? Whoa, I saw Douglas in there. I mean, the updates look 2006, but they did stuff.
Clean, solid opportunity. Johnny, I had a client reach out this morning about Maui Sands, asking about the rentability, potentially going away in 2029. But I did quick research in the one bedrooms in Maui Sands and Maui Sands Seaside. They're averaging for a week $1,500 to $2,000 a week in rental income.
There's all kinds of strategies here, guys.
Pretty impressive. So, I mean, if you had $2,000 a week, 4 weeks in a month, I mean, that's $8,000 in a month.
I've sold timeshare for 2 weeks, 4 times this amount here. So maybe that's how you consider it, right? Let's go through the numbers. You pay $1,647 for water, sewer, trash, exterior maintenance, Wi-Fi, cable, insurance that includes a hurricane. and then you pay an additional $1,858. So let's call that what, $2,600 a month after you pay your $99,000. And I mean, Maui Sands is the one that has the amenities.
Sure does.
That's it.
Interessante, Johnny.
That's a deal, dude. I mean, for the
Feels
right
like it.
person, that is a
You
deal.
want to go halvesies on it?
No doubt, bro. You and your folks, man, for the next 11 years, bro.
We
Seriously. There's your play.
Auntie, you watching? Hit her up, Johnny. Make the pitch. She watches.
Dude, $385 out the gates, Danny, for Paki Maui, man. We have entered into residential price range. Now, what stops local people from putting down their money is the $1,400 a month in fees.
Yep. And kind of an interesting layout in these guys as well.
That's my thing with Paki Maui. Those kitchens were just not designed great.
A little bit strange. I mean, I still think they're a bit aspirational at 385, Johnny.
Fair.
When I first got in 2017, 2018, these were like 280, 275, 300 days on market.
So funny. You got some time to drift.
Funny how things change, isn't it?
Paki to me has always been a value play for this particular stretch right here, right? They want to be in the area. Wow, $1.9 million. I mean, Wailea Palms was never vacation rentable, correct?
Correct.
So there you have it, guys. Maui real estate with views in Wailea still has values, still moves, just at a slower pace.
Nice looking unit.
They had all the stuff, man. Really is. It's cute. So. Mo'olio with a pool, Pacific Terrace, Keone Kai, just above Camp Sands that we were just showing you.
Little compound.
What'd they pick it up for? $1,765,000. Little bit of a negotiation, right? Always a bit of room.
Well, it came down almost $200,000 from their original price, but they found the price.
For me, that's a lot of house for the area there, man. A little better on Kilohana, Keone Kai, a little bit of funk. So here we go, $1,323,000. That is a trophy unit, Danny, right along that little front U there, huh?
Up top, kind of dated inside, but brought the money, Johnny.
It is, man. Hotel Zone.
And last but not least, this was a screaming deal, Johnny.
Stole it.
Hotel Zone.
Hotel Zone. Across the street.
$660,000.
Wrote the offer. Saw the behavior. Right? Didn't come out at $1.2 million to start. That's what's up, man.
So they got the deal. I mean, it does have this big wall here, so that's something to take into consideration down the road when they turn and try to sell this thing. It does have that big kind of overhanging wall. So people have to remember that. They don't often remember that. They start to see the comps of other units, but not all units are the same. So just remember, when you get a deal because of things and you want a deal because of things, you also need to sell for similar reasons.
Now, here's the thing. If you're going to buy funk for the deal, you want to sell it when we have a crazy, highly competitive market where nobody cares. That is the strategy there.
During the COVID market, yeah, those things went crazy. Didn't matter.
Nobody cared.
We showed in yesterday's video, Kaanapali Royal on the road had the highest sale ever at almost $2 million.
Sick remodel, I'll give it to them, but still.
That's the secret. Yep. If you're trying to sell funk in a tough market, you're going to get more funk.
Truth.
Till next time, Johnny, be on the lookout for the deal of the week. We've been in Kahana for a few weeks, and I think we're going to stay in Kahana. There's a good deal that we're going to talk about. So see you Thursday.
Yo.
We hope.
We hope.